starting 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, Straight Talk No Chase is back. Of course, I am your wonderful host / co-host, the one and only Mr. Trip Simpson, alongside Kirk Keys and Cosby Digital via satellite. Ready to get this show on the road today. Real quick, Kirk Keys, what you got for him?
What's happening, bro? How are you?
I can't complain.
What's that? I ain't got too much going on. What is it? It's August? Yeah. Shout out to Christopher Brown. R.I.P. Christopher Brown.
Facts.
Shout out to his mom, Crystal. We celebrated, well, not celebrated, I guess we kind of commemorated more so his 1 year anniversary. It was technically yesterday, August 9th, but we celebrated it on August 8th with a back to school event. Passing out some school supplies, some fun for the kids, some performances by some kids, some art by some creatives. It was a good time. It was a fun time. I was proud of his mom because she kind of put that joint together with the support of some community organizations, but really spearheading that joint on her own. And so that was a strong push for her to witness her put that together. I'm proud of her. Other than that, I'm just getting ready to go to California, take a little break before school start. You know what I'm saying?
California? What part of California you going?
All of them.
Oh, okay. All right, it's like that.
Nah, but for real, San Diego, San Francisco, LA, I'm gonna hit all three. I've
That's
never
what's up.
been to San Francisco before, so I'm gonna do that for the first time. I've been to Stanford. I went for a day, just for a meeting at Stanford University. Literally flew in and then flew right back out. So I don't count that.
Don't have too much fun in San Francisco, bro.
I
Go
don't
get
plan
your
to.
San Francisco treat. Oh, this mugshot.
I forgot Cosby was on here. I was thinking that was a button. I was waiting to hear what button you press.
It's raining.
There we go.
I knew that joint was coming. Pause.
It's raining men. Hallelujah.
Yeah, wow.
Mr.
Go on, what's up with you, bro?
Let's see what's up with Mr. Digital. How you feeling? I see you bunkered down.
You managed to put my face in the only place on the screen where you can't see it. Right behind the fucking the number count. God damn. You like fucking Tim the
It's
Two
in
Man.
the top corner, yeah.
You like Tim the Two Man with this shit. I swear to God.
Bro, we just had a whole hour technical difficulty while we waited for that man to get everything together. I took a whole nap and everything.
Hey, man, I do this shit for free, man.
Hey, I might as well not even be on screen. The fuck? Oh yeah, for everybody, yeah, I'm on screen. I'm just behind the fucking live count, y'all. So if you looking for me, I'll be in the back.
Nah, hold up. I can fix that. Carry on, son. Carry on.
Well, shit, man, I'm chilling.
Henny and Waffles around the corner.
Oh yeah. Sunday. Karma, man. Henny and Waffles is here. Is back.
I'm mad I'm not gonna be here for it.
First, I got Tacoma Station coming up. The Bearded Drummer Experience. He going, set the tone for Henny and Waffles this Sunday. So man, y'all fall through Tacoma. Grown and sexy. But Henny and Waffles gonna be a movie. We only got 2 tables left. Brunch sold out. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be. If you miss this one, I feel sorry for you. But yeah, that's cool, man. School year coming back up. I'm looking forward to getting back and mentoring as well. Getting our program back on the road, man. Trying to get the kids back engaged. They've been off for so long, man. We really got to come up with some creative ways to get them back engaged into their work, their after school programs, because they've been living on them screens for a whole year.
Yeah.
That's a fact, man. Yo, real quick, I want to jump right into the conversation tonight, man, because we running late as fuck. Real quick, like to give a special RP to a DC native, Mr. Chucky Thompson, the producer out of DC. He has produced some major hits: Mary J. Blige, Biggie Smalls, P. Diddy, 112. I mean, you name it, he was there.
Nas, One Mic.
Yep, Nas, One Mic. He produced a lot of those tracks. Unfortunately, he passed due to complications from COVID-19. So real quick.
Usher.
Yeah, Usher.
Brian McKnight. Man, a whole bunch of shit. Frankie Beverly and Maze.
No doubt.
Chuck Brown. Chuck Brown whole album, like that We About the Business jump. He did that whole joint. Lil Mo. Man, the list goes on. Faith Evans, Juvenile. Like, this is extensive, man.
Hell yeah. So real quick, 6 gun salute.
I'm glad he didn't get shot.
Come on, man. But yeah, real quick, I mean, the first thing I really wanted to get in tonight is kind of related to that. There was a clip that Kirk sent me earlier that I thought was really interesting. So real quick, we're gonna go through this clip real quick. Kirk, you want to give some context to that?
Context is it was a doctor speaking at the Mount Vernon Community School board, I believe. And he was basically chastising the school board and the CDC, talking about some of the science that everybody talks about, the science, why it works, why it doesn't work. So he's one of the doctors that feels like it doesn't work. He talks about the vaccine and how there's a second wave that is hot right now in the summertime, and people don't typically get sick in the summertime because vitamin D levels and things like that are so high. But the fact that they're suggesting the vaccine, even though the second wave is among people who've been vaccinated. So a little context, but he can say it better than I can.
That's a bet. So real quick, we're gonna get right into that. See what you guys think. Oh, fuck. Let me get the sound together. Shit. Hold up real quick. Give me a second, man.
That joint actually says Community School Corporation in the back.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Fuck, man.
Shout out to the YouTubers. Viv, who's that? Was it Viral Pop? Virus Pop? What's that say? I can't read it.
Viva Pop.
Viva Pop. Yeah.
This joint viral though. It's all over the web. I'm not sure who originally posted it, but it's been circulating.
Yeah.
The waves.
Probably some bullshit site like this one.
All right, let's see. We got this motherfucker up, man.
Let's go sound engineer.
Freaking sound. Come on. Oh, I know what the problem is.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to get paid. Yeah, you don't know how to do shit.
Oh my God, I can't believe this. Fuck this shit, man. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know.
You need a fucking intern. That's what happened.
Oh shit, we'll go to the next fucking topic. I'll get that shit together before the end of this fucking podcast.
Good
All right, so let's get into one of the main topics tonight. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, in a recent article, came out and basically is bashing her dad because she's homeless, living out of a rental car that she can't afford, and the internet went crazy this week over this bullshit. Me personally, I think she's out of her fucking mind, but we'll get into the article. We'll get into the article real quick, and then we'll share our thoughts on that afterwards. So here we go. Exclusive. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, 38, reveals she's homeless, living out of her SUV rental, and hasn't received a dime from him in 18 months, despite repeated pleas for help. All right. Dr. Dre's estranged daughter has revealed she's homeless and has been living out of her car, while her superstar father is ordered to pay his ex-wife, Nicole Young, $300,000 a month in spousal support. LaTanya Young, 38, works as a delivery driver for DoorDash and Uber Eats, and as an assembler at a warehouse, but claims that she can't afford to secure an apartment in California and is living in a rental vehicle. The single mother of 4 told thedailymail.com that she has reportedly asked her producer dad, who is said to be worth a colossal $800 million, for financial help, but she has not received a dime in 18 months. LaTanya is Dr. Dre's daughter by Lisa Johnson, 53. The couple split when LaTanya was 5 years old. She has not seen her famous father, whose legal name is Andre Ramil Young, in 18 years, and doesn't even have his cell phone number, admitting that she has to communicate with him through his team. All right, no need to read any more of that. Mr. Cosby, we'll start with you.
I mean, what does she expect? I mean, she don't have no contact with him. I think it's important for a parent to guide their child or look out for them, up until they become an adult. But once you're an adult, you got to start making adult decisions. It's incumbent upon them to help you if they want to at that point. If he got her past 21, even I say maybe 24, 25 years old, because I don't think a woman should leave the nest too early if she don't have to, you know what I'm saying? But at a certain point, personal responsibility comes into play. You can't afford to live in California. You might have to move from California, because if you got all them jobs in like Ohio or like North Carolina or South Carolina, you could afford a place to live. You working 2 jobs.
Here's the thing.
California's expensive as fuck.
She was living in Nevada prior to moving to California, which I think is very interesting also. I mean,
yeah, she upgraded. You know what I'm saying? Nevada is especially you ain't living on the strip, it's pretty cheap outside of the strip. So maybe she possibly should have stayed somewhere where she could afford, the lifestyle that her jobs afford her.
I mean, and there's always Section 8.
I mean, but if you work at DoorDash in a major city, you can make $15 to $20 an hour. And now she got a bad business plan. She got an SUV to take up a whole bunch of gas, and she got a job where she's driving. That may not be the best thing, but I don't want to get too far into what her personal decisions and choices are. But I think this is probably just a cry for help, and she figured maybe if she go to the media, she might could shame her father, her family into, throwing some cash her way. But Dr. Dre may be like, man, I did all I can do and want to do at this point, and she has to make her own decisions. And we don't even know, he might have some stuff set up for her children and things of that nature, but he's just not willing to deal with her anymore.
I mean, yeah,
for whatever reason.
And here's the thing, right? He was taking care of her up to about 2 years ago when she came out. Remember when Dr. Dre was catching all that heat for Michelle A. and all that shit?
Yeah.
She came out and spoke against her dad. She came out to the media and spoke against him, and that's at the point where he cut her off. He was taking care of her up until that point.
He shouldn't have bit the hand that feed her.
I find it interesting that she has the nerve to come out and blast this man. And don't get it twisted. Like, I don't agree with what Dr. Dre did to Michelle A. I mean, I don't agree with that at all. You shouldn't put your hands on a woman under any circumstances. Well, under most circumstances. But at the end of the day, this man's got billions of dollars on the line, and with his own daughter coming out speaking against him over some alleged claims that he's never been locked up for, that hurts. That stings. And that just shows you how spiteful this woman is. It's funny, because we talked about this last show, accountability, right? All the accountability for what this woman has done or decided to do throughout her life went out the window, because you had tons and tons and tons of women coming out to defend her. This chick has 4 kids by 4 different dudes. Her father's a billionaire, and all she could do with all the money that he's given her over the years, all she could come up with is being, and shout out, I mean, no disrespect to anybody that drives Uber Eats or DoorDash, but that's it. That's all you can do. And then you want to pop fly and talk about the nigga in the media, and now you standing out with your hand out. And I think the shit's crazy, man. No accountability. Kirk, where you at with it?
I mean, I feel the same. I was going to ask what did she do? Not saying I was going to ask like expecting anybody to know, but it was kind of people don't be that heartless. Granted, sometimes they do, but I needed to hear both sides of the story. I wasn't going to pass no judgment on Dre without knowing, like, did she do something? Is he just an a-hole? Why is it just coming out right now? If he's just an a-hole, like, them type details. And basically, you said he was been taking care of her, so you must know a little more information than what I'm privy to. And so I ain't surprised. Like, it's typically somebody does something to make somebody just leave them out on the street like this. I mean, so at the end of the day, I mean, she got what not necessarily maybe she deserved, because he did something wrong to Michelle A, but that ain't her business.
Right. Or I mean, and you know what, man, I don't even want to get caught up saying the wrong thing. I'm not even sure if it was the Michelle A thing, but I mean,
either way,
about 2 years ago she came out.
The point is the fact that he was taking care of her and then he stopped. She probably also did something.
Hell yeah. I mean, and he's probably been dealing with her bullshit for a long time.
Yeah. And knowing how I feel about like youth and maybe raising your specific kids and things, I might feel a certain type of way. But she 38, she about to be 40. How long you supposed to take care of somebody? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta eventually have accountability for yourself, like you said, and make it shake yourself. So
she better hold on tight and hope she in the wheel.
Exactly.
Man, look, she better motherfucking go downtown to Health and Human Services and fill out that motherfucking paperwork. Section 8. Here's the thing. I read another article. Like, they go into detail about her financial situation. This chick is paying $2,300 a month for a rental car that she's supposedly living out of. $2,300 a month for a rental car.
Yeah, she wildin'. Fuck, she renting a G-Wagon?
I mean, is she on something? Like what the fuck? These sound like cokehead moves.
$2,300 a month.
Yeah, $2,300 a month.
More than rent.
Right. Well, I don't know about in California, but
you can get it. You can get in the building at $1,800.
She can move in that building that Issa Rae was living in on Insecure.
$2,300.
Yeah. Issa Rae was probably paying $1,200
Right.
at the dunes.
She was holding it down, and Lawrence wasn't even working. So come on, man, get the fuck out of here, man. I tell you, man, I swear, the more and more these things come out in the media, the more and more the question of accountability comes up. And I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but like I really want black women to pay attention to what they're feeding you. There's like no repercussions for anything you guys do. Everybody's supposed to feel sorry for you for making bad decisions. No, when somebody makes a bad decision, they get what they pay for. You know? So, I mean, you know.
I had a whole conversation at work today with a dude about accountability. He was so pissed. He was talking about the women's empowerment movement and the feminist movement, and he said he felt this way before Kevin Samuels was. He felt like he had to throw that out there too.
I mean, but we've all felt that way.
Yeah, he felt like it started in like the 90s. I can't remember what he specifically attributed it to, other than like mass incarceration and dudes being gone. But he's like, it started with women empowerment, and like the women empowerment, he said, was necessary because they did need more respect and more like of a voice, but he also feels like they started getting it and they got kind of what they were hoping for, or maybe not got it yet, but they did make some strides. But then the strides went left to where it's no longer necessarily women empowerment. It's like, what are y'all trying to actually get? It's almost to where y'all trying to like cut our dicks off, is what he said.
I mean, and he's right. I mean, listen.
Nah, he's absolutely right. I can tell you where it went. I can tell you where it went wrong though. So at the same time, women's empowerment was cool. But at the same time, in America, the financial castration of the black man was happening. And those two things create a perfect storm of fuckery that we in right now, with kicking the man out the home because of welfare and Section 8, with locking up a bunch of dudes, which making it hard for dudes to be in corporate America. But at the same time, opening the door for all the women to get into corporate America, into the government, into the post office, into all of these jobs, right? So they're prospering financially. Then pretty soon they pass us.
Yeah, he talked
right?
about the jobs too. He was like,
Yeah,
they started getting them in positions and getting money and approaching men with the like, now we equal type mindset, and not realizing dudes don't care about the type of money you get.
Major mistake. I mean, and like you said, you can trace it back to the 60s, when unfortunately a large portion of our women decided, fuck the family, I'm gonna take this government money and just be a single mom. And then that single mom shit started getting pumped up. They started telling people, you know, you a strong single mom and all this. Listen, no disrespect to anybody that's a single mom, okay? And no disrespect to anybody who's had kids out of wedlock, anything, because I've done the same thing. But one thing that we need to get across to the next generation is that shit didn't work. And it's funny because when you get into these conversations with some of these women, right? They want to bring it back to the dudes. Well, it's some of these dudes out here, sorry, well, who raised these fucking dudes? Who raised them? Who raised them? The strong single mother raised them.
Who raised you, niggas?
You know, at the same time,
these women need to be more understanding that they don't understand that we face some of the same factors they face in terms of discrimination, racism, and things of that nature. We got an extra layer.
Discrimination. You said discrimination?
Discrimination. That's discrimination plus racism. Discrimination.
Thank you.
Stop the
Bullshit up.
He hit every new button.
Hey, look, I'm doubling. I'm going Trump style. I'm doubling down. Discriminism.
Discriminism.
But yeah, like they face that, but it's another level. They're not feared in the way that we feared, and they don't understand. They're accepted in the places, and they're let to move around certain ways because they're actually objectified. You know what I'm saying? White men objectify black women as objects, as well, while they fear us. So it's a whole other dynamic at play that most of them don't understand. The smart ones do. The ones who are tapped in, they understand. But a lot of them don't. And they find themselves in a position where they thinking, okay, I'm going to date outside of my race because it's going to be so much better over here. Not realizing these men of other races just have been fetishizing you for so long. It ain't because they genuinely want to get to know you or really want to be with you and build a family like a black man will build with you. But they'll even marry you because they fetishize you.
Yo,
but you're gonna be a token.
I'm glad you said that because I want to get into something, a really good topic that I saw floating around Instagram and Facebook earlier. I marked out the chick's face and name because I don't want anybody hitting her up, or I don't want shit coming back to us. But I thought this was interesting because a lot of women were commenting on this, and I wanted to bring this topic up tonight. So this chick says, do y'all really think Sarah, Jessica, or Becky is going 50-50 with Brett, Tom, or Nick? Nah, not in the White household. She didn't spell that right. Let's discuss that. Let's discuss that, and discuss that we will. I'll go ahead and go first on this topic, man. So first off, that's some of the silliest shit a chick could write. Now, let's look into this. So the type of man, black, white, Hispanic, Arab, Asian, right, that's gonna take you in 2021.
I almost don't even want you to go and want to say a simple statement. I worked in corporate America for 8 years. The people that I know, the white ones that ended up getting married each other from meeting in the workplace. They had jobs that was damn near equivalent to one another.
Yeah, I mean,
if you think they wasn't using that money to pay some of the bills too, you're tripping.
But so what I want to,
that's not to say that's how we feel or agree or disagree. I'm just saying let's not compare the black and the white thing because I guarantee you'd be surprised.
And that's why I want to break this down, because what a lot of women don't understand is, so a man who can afford to do that, no matter what color he is, right?
Want to do it,
but regardless, a man who can do that in 2021 would be considered a quote unquote high value man, right?
1% income.
So here's the thing: what Jennifer and Becky and all of them, what they do when they get a high value man is different from what y'all do. See, they looking to throw white households, the man pays the bill. No. High value households, that goes down. But see, the problem with you is you want to be the boss, you want to be the leader, you want to have the dick, you want to have the balls. Becky doesn't come into the situation like that. Becky knows what the fuck she got. She gonna sit down, shut the fuck up, play her role, advise her man when he needs to be advised, make him a sandwich, drain his balls. That's what she's gonna do. No questions asked. And the funny thing is, even in situations with regular men, right? Even when you're in a situation where some of these other ethnicities are in relationships where they split the bills, they still let the man be the man. They still let the man be the man.
Pretty much. That's we're in the DMV, right? We have a very heavy Hispanic population, El Salvadorian. What's that? What else we got? You know, all of them.
Yeah, I got you.
over the border people. Damn, I'm worse off. I'm sober so I'm drinking tea and I'm jumbling my fucking words. I need some tequila. Get me in my mode. But yeah, that culturally, the man is still a man. And they splitting everything. It's 8 of them splitting it. It's 9 of them. You know what I'm saying? It might be 5 couples in one household. But all of the men are in charge of the things men are supposed to be in charge of.
Exactly. And you know, I come off ignorant at sometimes when I talk shit about black girl magic. I'm not doing it to shit on black girls. But a lot of times what I don't get to articulate properly is that while you guys are chasing black girl magic and black girls rock and black girls gonna get up and do this, right? Other women and other ethnicities aren't chasing black girl magic. They're chasing families. They're chasing legacy. They know that a group of women getting together doesn't mean a hill of fucking beans. What they know is I gotta get with a man. I gotta get with a man, partner with him, have some kids, and build a legacy. Black women, understand you gotta build a legacy, and you cannot do it on your own. You've attempted it for the past 30 years and it's gone off the tracks. And that's not, I'm not trying to diss anybody or anything like that. I'm just speaking facts. Like, black women, you need your men.
Hey, look, you know the perfect example, I was thinking this earlier, right? When we used to watch 90s TV, it was always couples on 90s TV, right? And even the show that was called Living Single, they was always still trying to get into couples. And the most strongest couple on there was Regine and Overton because they stayed together.
Hell yeah.
The rest of them had all the problems. Max had all the problems because she ain't never want to be with Kyle, and they was kind of getting together, but they know they loved each other. Khadijah, I don't know if she was a dyke or not, but they say she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? They say she wasn't. But who, you know, she had all the pantsuits and sweatsuits and everything on there.
She did.
And you know, Regine was just a money chasing hoe, and that never worked out for her on this
Never.
show. But it was funny.
Never. But they laughed at Overton and I can't remember her name, but Sinclair. And they made them the dumb ones. They made them the two dumb ones on the show. But really, they the ones that had their shit together. Overton had steady employment, was probably living in the building free because he could fix everything.
Man, he was a handyman.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the funny part of all of this, man. Like, nobody understands. Nobody wants to look at reality and take a step back and say, damn, am I doing this right?
Hey, Kurt, you got the Kyle Barker right now.
He does.
Boy. That's funny, though. I was looking at this shit.
There's a man down.
Fucking buttons, too. Yeah, niggas are out.
But no, that's facts, though. That's facts, man. That is facts all day, bro. Like, you know, like I always say, I'm not trying to come off like I'm trying to bash women. It's just that the women have to understand, like, we don't have time to play these games. Like, I saw some shit. What the fuck was I watching? The ESPN the other day. I was at work and I saw a commercial that said the countdown. It was like a countdown. It said black women. Like, it was a commercial about black women trying to make the same amount as white men. Has anybody seen that?
Nah.
There's a whole campaign going on, black women catching up to white men. It's called Campaign 365 or some shit like that.
I support it.
Well, here's the thing. I don't support that. I don't support that because, once again, you're trying to distinguish black women from black men, and you're trying to have black women compete with white men and you can't fucking do it.
Yeah, that's a real good point.
You can't do it. You can't fucking do it.
I forgot what I was about to say about right before.
God damn, bro, what's going on? You all right?
I thought I muted it. My bad.
Nah, boy, you missed that button. Damn, what was it about to say? Oh, fuck it.
Hey, but the whole time though, they don't. But black women don't understand. They won't get equal pay until we make it then in this racism and prejudice thing. Because until they got a fucking army, you ain't getting equal nothing. Like, white women kind of cut that fight out a long time ago because they realized, like, hey,
it's pointless.
It's
pointless. It works against you.
It does.
You're taxing your body and your mind trying to compete with men when all you have to do is just be a fucking woman.
Yeah. And that's wild. Like, I can honestly say my paradigm has shifted on this in the last 2 years. Like, making a lot more money and dealing with women differently, right? Like they be like, well, you don't have a certain amount of time, or you always inviting me to stuff instead of doing this. I'm like, what do you think I'm sitting around doing? You want to go to dinner? You want purses? You want vacations? You want all this stuff? You don't know what type of man you want, obviously. Because once a man hit that certain level, he don't unless he got a trust fund or he got like a really cushy type government job. If you're really making money, you're busy. If you're running a business, you're busy. If you like Kurt, you running an organization, you're busy, right? And if that woman can't figure out why you can't talk to her every single day, or why she gotta fit in around some of this stuff, like I'd be like tripping. They be like, but you don't do it. Like what?
Hey,
because they're chasing they're chasing what they see on television, and they don't want to deal with reality. Like, black women, listen to me, man. Look at the numbers. You're losing the game. But the funny part is television is telling you that you win it, when in actuality, you're losing.
Hey, that marketing piece, I will give Kevin Samuels credit. Like, when I first listened to his content, it made me go back and really look at, because I market to black women for my events. You know what I'm saying? No bones about it. They got the bread. They go out in packs. They spend the money. They got the bread. So that's who I market to. But then I started thinking about, like, damn, they getting marketed to all the way around, even shit that's like detrimental to them actually prospering. Because if a woman is looking at like wanting like an professional athlete or a CEO of a company, and they expect to meet you and you ain't dating nobody else when they meet you, like what do you don't think everybody want the boss? You don't think everybody want the head guy? Like you are attracted to safety, security, and finances. We're attracted to looks. It's only a few dudes who got the security, the finances, and the power. It's a bunch of good-looking women, and it's like the ones I've been able to date stably was like they wasn't worried about other women. But the ones the first time they see somebody walk up to my face, like, who is this and what's that? Like, oh yeah, I already know you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about accountability and being accountable for the actions and for the things that you do. I saw another interesting conversation today. I had time today.
Clearly,
I caused the whole.
Where I saw some people arguing online about basically the same thing we're talking about, women being held accountable. And then the conversation always goes to, well, what about men? What about us? We're automatically held accountable. It's built
on every level.
It's built into the fiber of society, especially black men. It's built into the fiber of society. We're held accountable.
Look at the baby.
Right. Accountable every time.
It's a little bit of a bad example, but it's still an example nonetheless. He's held accountable.
What they don't realize, because like when you say things like, well, you know, you got to do this and to get this type of man. Well, why do I have to do this? Because the type of man I want. See, you already wrong when you're talking about the type of man you want. Because guess what? A man's gonna pick you. You don't pick the man. You don't pick the man. Men tell you, hey, you're my girlfriend. They propose to you, hey, we're going to get married.
Tell you.
See, what women got to stop, what a lot of women, and I'm not just going to sing out black women in this regard, but what a lot of women got to do, they have to understand what their role is and what they're responsible for. You are the gatekeepers of sex, and you are the gatekeepers of childbirth. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships and marriage. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. That's the key to every relationship. So this is what you got to figure out. Okay. If I fuck this nigga, what will be the consequences of fucking this nigga? Right? And if I have a baby by this nigga, what are the consequences of having a baby by this nigga? Here's where the conversation gets deep. Men don't go around having sex with women trying to get them pregnant.
Nope.
At all.
We don't do that. So ladies, understand this. If you're gonna have sex with the guy unprotected, understand you're gonna have to take measures to keep yourself from getting pregnant. You can't blame the guy for getting you pregnant when you let him fuck you without no condom. The guy doesn't know when you ovulate. The guy doesn't know when your period is. All the guy knows is you're down to have fun, and obviously, right, obviously you know your body well if you're gonna let me fuck raw, because you know I don't want no baby by you. I don't even know you.
And obviously he's down to roll the dice.
Right, he's rolling the dice, but here's the thing. He's rolling the dice. And guess what? If he rolls the dice and he fails, right? Guess what? He's gonna be held accountable automatically. By crook or by book, he's gonna be held accountable. But guess what? He's gonna be held accountable, and now what are you gonna be held to?
I mean, women are kind of held accountable too, because they do got to take care of the baby. Right?
They don't have to. I mean, so most of the time,
it's just the accountability looks different.
It looks different, but like this is your choice. This is your choice. You fucking nigga raw that you not serious with like that, right? Go to CVS the next day, get a Plan B. They're $20 to $40 a pop, and they work 99.9% of the time. They work.
Amazon now too. You can order them from Amazon.
They fucking work. Me and my wife use them all the time. So ain't nobody trying to keep hearing none of that shit. Oh, he did this, he did that here. Nah. See, you didn't do your due diligence in picking and dealing with a mate who wants to marry you. The baby comes after marriage. Why? You marry somebody, you make them your life partner. Now you know you got somebody that's saddled in who's ready to take care of the responsibilities. Now there are anomalies. There are some men who get married and they turn into deadbeats and all that. It happens sometimes. But the majority of the time when a couple is married and they have kids, whether they get divorced or not, both parents are vested in the child. I don't know, right or wrong, man. Let me know. I mean, am I tripping?
So somebody
yeah, he pretty much. I pretty much agree with what you're saying. Definitely. I mean, but like I said, society, we at a weird like inversion point that if we don't really like pay attention and get on the same page, especially black men and black women, we don't get on the same page of where we need to be going in this next century, we're going to get left further behind. They're going to keep being tricked into believing that, you know, it's all about them. And the black family is going to continue to suffer. And like I said, I'm all for women being able to make the choices that they want to make, but it's also consequences.
It's definitely
right?
consequences.
It's consequences to the choices culturally, you know, the choices that they're making now, like getting their bodies done up all crazy for like living it up and they all the way up to their 30s. Like them consequences going to be seen 20, 30 years down the line.
They certainly are.
When they don't have anybody to take care of them. They didn't have children. They didn't have no husband. They was fucking around. They ain't making enough bread to really to really hold it down. Like when my grandmother got old, she had 4 kids to take care of her. Unfortunately, her husband passed early, but you know, she had a legacy. You know, both of my grandparents are gone, but they had, you know, legacies behind them. Now, some of these women right now, they not gonna have them legacies. We know the other aunts in the family that didn't have children, that didn't have these things. It's a little tougher for them out there. And it's rare. Like if you got 4 aunts, it's probably 1 that ain't married. And if it's 2, they just outlived their husband and they got an old boyfriend right now. Facts.
I mean, listen, you're speaking off that. I mean, listen, man. The bottom line is, y'all women can go out and y'all can, and it's these older women who giving these younger women bad advice too, right? But to the younger women, listen to me. Listen to us. Don't waste your 20s and early 30s trying to live this Sex in the City life. Because you know what's going to happen?
Big ain't coming.
By the time you hit 40, guess what? You ever been to a military funeral? They fold up the flag. Hold up the flag. They fold the flag up, right? You know what you're going to hear?
Thank you for your service. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
This nigga had that joint on standby ready. He not, you lit that joint up. The build up was excellent.
All the niggas that's been out here hitting it. Listen, one more time, ladies.
Thank you for your service. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Just like that. Ain't no good men out here. I can't find no man.
Thank you for your service.
Niggas wild.
Please. Fuck it. If it's too late for you, each one teach one. Go find a young girl and tell her, sweetheart, while you in college, you need to be trying to find a man.
I feel like that's bad advice. I feel like it's
bad advice.
twofold. So there are women out here in the world that I've learned who literally go to college to find their mate. Like, they ain't even going to college to get a degree, to find the job that's gonna pay the 6 figures, all of that. They find the nigga that is doing the right things, that's gonna go get that bread, and they try and marry him.
That's good.
I don't think
That's
that's
So
bad
I'm not
advice
saying
right
you
now.
are wrong, because I've heard that they exist, and that probably is some good advice, because there's some simp niggas out here that's gonna go get some 6 figures that's ready to marry you right away.
No, but it's not that. It's not
However,
that.
I
wouldn't-
do think.
I
Hold
wouldn't
on.
say freshman and
I want to say too that outside of that, I do think women need to be living it. I don't think that like go to college and find the dude and get married in the early 20s life is the move. I don't believe that personally. Like, even if I for one have my own little quarrels with marriage in general, but outside of that, I still feel like white people, they ain't going straight and getting married straight out of college or even in college. Like, some of them are, yeah, it's everything is, you know, in its own little lane. Some of them are, but a lot of them don't get married until older. Like, they experience life. You go out and live a little bit. I support that ideal of like, you ain't really finding yourself as a kid. You're finding yourself when you get some freedom away from your parents, and then you get to go like find your own identity and do the things that it is that you're trying to do with your own decision making, like skill set. You're trying to find yourself.
But Kurt,
at the end of
here's
the
the
day.
thing,
So I
right?
think that is a time frame to do that. I don't think you should be doing that.
Here's the thing.
too soon.
As black folks, right, we don't have the luxury of teaching anybody in this generation or the next 2 generations that thought process,
feel
because
like that's
we
too
are
close.
we're losing and we're behind.
Let me
We
tell you
don't
why
have
that's
hold up. We don't have the luxury of that. White people have that luxury now because they've built their wealth and they've built their society to the point where they can have, you know, a couple of people go astray and go off the program.
I feel you, and that makes sense, and I agree a little bit. But the reason why I don't agree completely is because you're basically saying we're behind white people, and to catch up to them, we have to live like them. Because that whole marriage concept and everything that you're saying, that you're selling right now, is a white, Eurocentric concept at the end of the day.
Every other ethnicity is married at monumental numbers beyond us. And every other
Like
hold
who?
up, Kurt, because the
I
results
wasn't gonna say that. Like who?
Indian
Americans,
Hispanic.
Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, white Americans, Asian Americans. They're all married at proportionally higher rates than us. And their children are excelling in school at proportionally higher rates than us. See, the problem I have with going out and living your life in your 20s and 30s is this. While you're out here living your life, almost every time you slip up, you fuck that one nigga, he gets you pregnant, bam. That lifestyle is creating single mothers. That's what's
Definitely,
creating.
it definitely is.
It's creating them because you're not your mindset is not to find an actual life partner to raise your kids with. You're just out here fucking, and then one nigga slips up and fucks you raw and gets you pregnant. You caught feelings for him even though he wasn't the right guy. Now you forced the baby on him. You got a baby, and it's all fucked up.
Bruh, I look at I
I don't have no
I
arguments
take
with all of
I
that.
take look, I took a toll of my own life, right? I started looking at all the girls who I was like, I thought got married too soon, 25, 26, 27, right? And I look up, these motherfuckers got nice ass houses, businesses, the kids in good schools. All the Joneses was living hot girl summers right along with me every summer. Man, it's a little hard out for them. Them the ones talking about it's not a good man. Them the ones that got 1 or 2 kids. Them the ones is it, man, it's getting, they got settled. They gotta settle pretty soon or be alone.
But and here's the thing, they got older dumbass women
So
telling
what
them
about
not
you?
to
What you
settle.
gotta do,
Shorty,
Cosby?
you need to settle.
What you gotta do, Coin?
Just keep getting richer. And I get what the fuck I want.
Bro, here's the thing. The
I
thing with
love
us,
the perspective. Man.
What-
I wasn't saying it because I didn't think you didn't have to. I was just curious.
that's what they don't understand. See, they're too busy trying to be like us.
Just keep it
We
rich.
get better with time. Men get better with time. You could be
Yeah.
45 years
I'm a
old
mutt.
and be like, yo, I'm ready to start a family. You got your money right, you go get you a 30, 32, 33, 34-year-old joint. Bam, y'all living it up. A woman can't be 45, 50 like, yo, I'm ready to start a family. She can't do it.
Can't.
She can't.
I had enough questions.
Can't do it.
Uh-huh.
It was amazing to me. I was dating a 42-year-old when she was like, why? I feel like you're still looking at other prospects, date other people. I was like, I gotta be frank. Like, we have to get at this right now because you 42 and you got a kid, or we just can't do it. But don't be rushing me because your mother, your head up against the motherfucking glass ceiling. That ain't, that's not fair.
Right?
Not fair to me.
You did your Sex in the City shit. You spent your time out having your fun, experiencing life, or whatever you want to call it. You're gonna experience life, all right.
I don't think our comparison to the Indian, Asian, and other cultures that you named is fair because they didn't go through the same things that we went through. And granted, that does mean that we need to be doubling up and moving even faster to catch up to them. But I think that their realities are a little bit different than ours. Like Nick Cannon said it similar in the Breakfast Club interview. When
Nick
he talked
Cannon's a
about
fucking
shut up.
idiot.
I'm not saying it as him as an example. I'm saying it as like the way he put this shit in perspective, as far as like why he got all these kids and shit. But when he mentioned the Eurocentric pieces, that like this was another form of property. At the end of the day, you marrying somebody to pass down your family legacy, like your last name, which is the right thing to do. But at the same time, it's whereas a rich man passing on a woman to another man that is either rich or trying to get into that family. And so the property piece is the context that it is that you're trying to put it in. And these Indians and Asians aren't doing it for property now per se, but
Shit, yes
also
they
have
are.
and that's what I was about to say. They also have a different level of wealth than we do, to where they are actually still implementing that as like their lifestyle.
Yeah,
So we
but
can't
they
really
definitely-
compare
they
that
definitely still
because
do
we
that.
don't live that same lifestyle that they
But-
do. And I'm not even trying to catch up or start to live that type of lifestyle.
But
we
the
need
thing
to
is,
create something different.
we-
Like create
we've
your
gotten
own
to
thing.
that. But how did we get to that point? Because prior to the welfare and all that shit hitting us in the late 60s, we were married at an 80% rate.
Like, yeah, like
Following an example that
I-
was set to you by a white man.
our grandparents' generation was
Oh.
getting married, bro.
Hold
They
on,
was
hold
getting married.
Is
Hold on,
it
hold on.
not?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Listen, Kirk. Listen.
I'm saying you go from slavery to your freedom to
Bruh.
doing what the people in front of you are doing
Bruh.
because you're trying to catch up to them.
Listen,
That's
man.
not cap.
Listen.
At the end of
Listen.
the day.
But you act like people in Africa, they weren't getting married. Like if you was in a
I'm not
village that
saying
had
that.
too many women, the women have to find a dude to marry. He'll have 3, 4 wives
the
because
family-
everybody's gonna
That's
get
what I'm saying.
married.
The family is the nucleus of a society, bro. When you break
Always.
the family
Tribes and
structure,
all of that. I recognize that.
when you break the family structure, you have nothing. Right now, that's why we have nothing. Well, that's not,
We come from tribes. A tribe ain't nothing
but
but
is it
a
because
big,
we broke
a big
our familiar
family.
structure, or is it because it was already broken?
Well,
and that's
well,
the reality that I'm
that's-
trying to get to, bro.
here's where accountability comes in. We have to take accountability for the mistake that we made in the 60s. We have to take accountability and we have to correct it.
It wasn't in the 60s. It was before that.
Well, okay.
60s was still catch up. And that's not.
Nah,
that's
I mean, in terms of us
taking
being,
accountability
in terms of us having families, we were married amongst the equal rates of other people. We talking specifically when.
I mean, we were the most married. That's why they.
Yeah.
Read the Moynihan report. Read the Moynihan report. They had to do what they had to do with us because we were moving too fast. We just got groundbreaking legislation through with the Civil Rights Act. Even though they fucked us over with that, we were moving, bro. We were moving.
Then you had all those veterans coming home from World War II. You know what I'm saying? With training, jobs, like we were striving towards a real middle class existence, and they had to figure out a way to break that shit up.
They broke it all the way the fuck up. And then once they sprinkled the crack down, that was all she wrote.
So the answer is getting married.
I think that's the first step. I think the first step is relationships, black relationships, redefining what a black relationship is.
Because don't get it twisted, we definitely need to be pooling our wealth at this point, getting good families and marrying the good families. Like, fuck it, I hope one of Jay-Z kids marry Diddy kid or Rihanna kid, marry somebody else kid.
Fuck them people.
And start pulling wealth like they do.
We need regular, everyday, average, middle class, lower middle class, poor, get
everybody
fucking married. Because the thing is, you might not see the change yourself in your lifetime, but just the fact that you have a man and a woman in the house raising children together, that automatically upgrades your situation.
Fact.
Automatically puts you above what is current, where you just have a woman trying to raise a bunch of fucking kids, and like maybe one of them might be worth shit, but then they still got psychological damage going through life. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is, before you have kids, give them the best shot to make it. The results show that children in two-parent homes do well, exceptionally well. That's just the numbers. I'm not saying a person who doesn't come from that can't. This is not the shit on anybody. It's just saying, going forward, we need to give our children the best chance to succeed. And that starts with a good relationship between a man and a woman. Whether you believe in marriage or not, or whatever you want to call it, you with this woman, she with you, y'all have a kid, y'all gonna be together and y'all gonna raise your family. That's where it starts. It don't even really have nothing to do with going downtown and signing a piece of paper.
And you can be in a brother polite type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Get you 2 wives, get you 3 wives, get you 2 ladies, get you 2 husbands, but just get together and build something.
Because that's what the kids need. Like, we can't continue to just wing it. You know what I mean? By the time a young man is 12, 13 years old, he ain't listening to shit his mother got to say. You can't even beat me. It don't hurt. It don't hurt. I ain't even scared. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Whatever. I'm going outside. Fuck out of here. Come in the house. Son, where are you? I told you to get back here. Yo, where's my plate? Like, niggas. But when Pops is in there, you ain't talking like that.
You damn sure not.
You come in the house late and Pops there. Nigga, hold up. Nah. Pops will grab your plate, throw your food outside in the yard, go eat. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit a nigga will do. And then he'll dare you to get mad. He'll dare you to get mad. You know what I mean? I'll tell you,
go the fuck back and eat dinner where you came from.
Right. Go back where you came from.
Thank you for your service. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Yo, all right, fuck it. All right. Let's get on to the next topic, man.
What was the next topic? Is that shit a deal breaker? Splitting the rent?
Well,
splitting the
okay,
bills?
yeah. Let's solidify that. I know it was right. We just veered off. I mean, honestly, ladies, y'all gotta get over yourselves. Like, at this point, you're gonna have to split the bills. It's 2021. You think you about to find Prince Charming who's gonna bring you in his house and let you live for free and sit in your ass all day? It ain't gonna happen. Not for most of you, because only 5% of men can actually provide that to you.
And you got to be a bad bitch if I'm paying all the bills.
I also feel like this was the world that they created, wanting the women empowerment and equality and all of that. Like, this is the world that was created by y'all getting what y'all wanted.
But here's the
However, I do think that there are men that are willing to do that though.
Yeah, there are.
If they get a check.
There are some.
I said I'm willing to do it as soon as I'm rich enough to do it.
I get a check.
There are niggas that are willing to operate a fucking crane. But they're few and far between.
That's facts though.
In the fly plane, but ain't all of them got a pilot's license.
You know what I mean? Like, look, ladies.
Now look, I watched my man, one of my good men, like, you know, he had a good job. He paid the rent in the house, right? That's so his dudes to do. My best friends did it. But I'm looking like, bruh, if you paying the bill, she better be busting down in the kitchen and busting down the bedroom at the same time and just holding down the house.
And the kids
right?
better have all A's.
His girl was in school. So I understand, like, all right, she in school, but when she done with school and she get a job, this ain't like, you ain't making 150,000. You ain't making 200,000. When she out of school, it's time for her. She gotta pay that light bill, cause you stressing trying to pay for it. You shouldn't be. If you're the head of the household, you shouldn't be stressing to do it. If you got to stress to do it, something else needs to be done.
Facts. I mean, ladies, all you really need to know is that when you get in a relationship, your goal should be to make your man better. Because when your man's better, your situation is better. Your kids are better. Why? Because your man is the head of the household. And when he goes out into the world, he represents you, your kids, everybody. He represents you. And guess what? When somebody comes in that household, he's going to defend you. If somebody breaks in my motherfucking house right now, if they get me, they get me. But they going to catch a couple hot ones. Ain't nobody else in this house going to do that but me. So you can talk all that fly shit. Oh man, I'm this, I'm that. I'm a strong, independent. Okay, let you be a strong, independent woman and a strong, strong ass man. Bust the door open and say, lay the fuck down. Give me everything you got. Then what are you? You can't even run your fucking mouth at that point.
Thank you for your service. God bless you.
Somebody else
May God bless
the buttons. He don't need the buttons all the time.
Oh shit. But nah. So look, bottom line is a man paying the bills a deal breaker? Ladies, it doesn't matter. Your deals don't matter. You need to be trying to make a deal with me. I'm not trying to make a deal with you. And that's not to sound arrogant, because I don't treat my wife like no slave. Me and my wife, like, we built things together. We move like husband and wife. So I'm not telling you that you need to go into a situation to be a slave to a man, but what you need to do is get your attitude together and don't come into the relationship with your dick out. Talking about what you do. Bro, if a spider crawls in this motherfucker right now, you ain't gonna do shit.
A nigga told me he was turned on this weekend when he saw a woman just kill a spider, and now he tripping.
If I see a woman, let me tell you something. If I see a woman kill a spider, I'm leaving her. I'll fuck her, because she probably, she got the motherfucking audacity to kill a spider. She probably got all type of audacity. But I don't want you. I don't want you in my house. You killing spiders? Hell no. She kill a spider. What do you think she do to you?
That's the black widow.
So deal breaker. What do you think, Kurt?
Which one? What was the question?
Is A man paying the bills a deal breaker to a woman, or does it even matter?
Why the fuck you asking me, nigga? I ain't a woman.
I'm just asking for your opinion.
I know what you're saying. Now, I mean, I don't think it's a deal breaker, obviously, because I see women that do it, number one. And the reality that we living in, it's hard to do.
I mean,
so,
we living in the world that they wanted. You wanted this.
Exactly.
You wanted to be like a man that the job market is flooded.
Because if it wasn't this many women in the job market, imagine how many men would have jobs that were paying, you know what I'm saying, that worthwhile to do that. So, there's pros and cons to everything.
That's a fact. Digital, what do you have on the subject? Before we move on.
Man, I think everything's said that needs to be said already.
Like shit.
Yo, shout out to the podcast this week. We have actually agreed
On like everything.
on everything. Now, this
Maybe the
next
first
topic, I don't know.
topic.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's get it popping. All right. So we have all right. Article from the Wall Street Journal. College was supposed to close the wealth gap for Black Americans. The opposite happened. Black college graduates in their 30s have lost ground over 3 decades, the result of student debts and sluggish income growth. All right, I'm gonna read this whole article because I think that this is very important, even though I don't think the Wall Street Journal is gonna let me read this because it's saying something about subscribing, and I'm not about to do all that. So I'll read the first 3 paragraphs. Black millennials thought college would help them get ahead. Instead, it is setting them back. The median net worth of households with Black college graduates in their 30s has plunged over the past 3 decades to less than 1/10 the net worth of their white counterparts, according to a Wall Street Journal analysis of Federal Reserve data. Shout out to Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore, because they've been putting this shit out for years. Just a side note. The drop is driven by skyrocketing student debt and sluggish income growth, which combine to make it difficult to build savings or buy a home. Now, the generation that hoped to close the racial wealth gap is finding it is only growing wider. More than 84% of college-educated Black households in their 30s have student debt, up from 35% 3 decades ago, when many baby boomers were at the same age. The younger generation owes a median of $44,000, up from less than $6,000. By comparison, 53% of white college-educated households in their 30s have debt, up from 27% 3 decades earlier. The median amount rose to $35,000 from $8,000. All figures are adjusted for inflation. Meanwhile, Black graduates' household incomes have grown more slowly than those of college graduates in general, according to a journal analysis of census data. Median income for Black college-educated households in their 30s increased 7% from the early 1990s to the late 2010s to about $76,000. Income for their white counterparts rose 13% to about $114,000. We'll stop right there because I'm not about to subscribe to the motherfucking Wall Street Journal. All right. Conan, we'll start with you.
I mean, the article is spot on, right? I experienced this in my own personal life. Graduated in 2010. To give context for 2010. Context for 2010. I graduated in the middle of one of the worst economic depressions. I graduated in the middle of one of the worst economic depressions in 2010. The housing market crashed. Everything was fucking crashing. So the moment, like, my degree wasn't even worth the same in the 4 years I was in school. Like, I got to Texas Southern in 05, graduated in 09, 10. It was worth probably less than half by the time I graduated. And especially if you didn't plan on getting a postgraduate degree, getting a graduate degree or doctorate, like if you majored in some liberal arts or some bullshit, like your shit wasn't worth nothing. like I majored in communications and psychology. So those are two fields, especially psychology. If you're not getting a postgraduate degree, you're starting off still in like some type of entry level job. So if I got 30,000 in debt, but I'm only making 40,000 a year, that shit stops adding up after a while.
As a fact, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. The number is 914-205-5425. It's on the bottom of the screen. 914-205-5425. Cosby Digital. Please continue.
Yeah. So, and our generation was always sold like they were telling us, go to school, get a good job. Go to school, get a good job, because that was their way to, get into the middle class. But by the time our generation made it, the game had flipped. You had to have a graduate degree. You had to have much more skills. And honestly, we should have been going for vocational shit like electricians, plumbing, IT, things like real skills versus degrees that aren't in. If you didn't get a degree in like architecture, or you didn't become a doctor, a lawyer, a lot of it was just bullshit. But luckily, like I take my college experience, like I learned how to be a man in school. I learned how to flip a refund check. I learned some valuable skills outside of my degree. But like even when I advise my students now, if I don't think they're going into a field where they're going to make a lot of money, I always tell them build some type of skill, something laterally. A trade, a entrepreneurial business that you can do while you're getting your degree, so you can figure things out, because you don't want to come out with a bachelor's in philosophy and expect to be able to compete in today's workforce. Like my first 3 years out of college, I worked in the government as a lifeguard just because they was paying 50-something thousand, much more than I can make
with the degree.
Using my degree. And I didn't even have to have a degree to be a lifeguard. So that goes to show you right there. I went where the money was.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing where I think we're also lacking. Like, stop telling your kids the wrong thing. A lot of people just tell their kids, man, just go to college and just go. Just go.
But I don't think it. So
if you go, right? I'll say this: if you're gonna tell somebody to just go somewhere,
it wasn't wrong though. It wasn't. It only got wrong up until a certain point. Like my father graduated college. My uncles, my aunts, they all graduated college. And the people in their generation who didn't graduate college, they were all doing better than it. Like my mother didn't graduate college. A couple of my cousins didn't. They had better legs up from graduating college. It's just by the time it got to us, the information got wrong. So they were just kind of regurgitating what was taught to them. So they weren't necessarily wrong. They just wasn't. It wasn't poignant information at the time. It became wrong.
I am one of them type of people that thinks everything is planned and that things happen for a reason. So I think the price of college went up because they knew that the precedent had been set to where black people witness the college degree is what you need to go out and get into the workforce. And the price went up, and then the value went down. And as the price went up and the value went down, we getting finagled and going into this industry and doing what it is that we think we're supposed to be doing. When in all actuality, we were still technically doing the right thing, but we were told go to college to be able to get the credentials to get into the workforce to get a great job. But in all actuality, time is the most valuable asset that we have. And so if you're exchanging your time for money at a job, then you're not getting the most value out of life. And so we need to really have been going to college degrees to learn how to like run businesses, manage businesses and things like that. And you don't even actually have to have a college degree to even do that. And so we really just got finagled. Long story short, be real.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, it also coincides with them taking the trades out of the schools.
Yeah,
and just
that's a fact.
And those were in high school. I mean, you could have a trade in high school. You didn't even need to go to college to get a trade.
Shout out to Kwame Brown. Like, you can't tell a man with 3 trades a goddamn thing. What you gonna tell me? I got 3 trades.
And I used to always wonder that, right? Because in school, my grandfather, he taught driver's ed.
Mm-hmm.
And his best friend was the shop teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And the other friend was like the electrical teacher. I'm like, damn, why the? And I thought to myself, why the fuck we ain't had that? Like, that'd have been cool to learn how to drive
out of the free high school, and then make you pay for them. Like, you gotta pay for driver's ed. You gotta pay for all of these college courses. You gotta pay to have a trade. They used to have.
You don't have to pay. That's.
You don't have to pay to have a trade. You can go to like whatever. But the reality is, they used to have them in school, in high school for free, and they don't have those anymore.
That's a fact. I mean,
yeah, you used to get, if you go to Spingarn, it used to be like, that's where you want to learn how to build shit. You go to this school. You want to learn how to do that. Like, yeah, you know, you had the schools to go to.
Shit, yeah, M.M. Washington, you could be an EMT, you could be a barber, you could be a fucking cook coming out of some of these schools. And now, all the counselors in school are just telling you to go to college. They hand your ass a FAFSA form, putting your ass in debt, and just say, oh, just go to college. Fuck that. I got a son, right? By the time he get in the 9th grade, I'm going to know whether or not he need to go to college or not. It's either he going to go to college. If I'm going to tell him to go somewhere and just to go, I'm going to tell him to take your ass to the military. If you're going to go somewhere just to go, but don't go to college just to fucking go. Because you're going to put possibly yourself and me in debt for some shit that ain't gonna get you nothing in the first place.
I'll say this. I would say if he has an opportunity to go to college on a scholarship, I would tell him just to go.
A scholarship is different.
Yeah, but I would push my kids like, look, man, hit these books or hit that field, get you a damn scholarship. I knew. Look, I got that talk a long time ago about how my college fund was spent somewhere in the 1990s on some bullshit, so I better get a sports scholarship or I better get myself there, because it wasn't going to be no money for me to get there.
That's a fact, man. I mean,
I already knew that.
I mean, look, me personally, I'm actively putting away money for all of my kids to go to school if they choose to, but I'm going to have a real talk with them, because I'm not going to pay for you to go to school to fuck around.
I mean, your kids have Jamaican. They gonna have all type of jobs and trades and shit, man.
Shit, man, listen, fuck all that. if you're not about to go to school to be an engineer, a lawyer, a doctor, or some shit like that, you're wasting your fucking time and my money.
Yeah, the rest of that shit you can learn on YouTube now.
Yeah, exactly. You're wasting my fucking. Yo, listen. You can have the money. Go be a police officer. Go be a firefighter. Go be an electrician. You're gonna make the same amount of money, or if more, or even more, than someone who goes and tries to get in these fields, and you won't have no debt. And the money I save for you will be sitting right there.
Yeah, you could buy it. That's a down payment on your first property,
on your house,
like that.
You know what I mean? A down payment on your house. You know what I'm saying? I could pay for your wedding, whatever you want. But yeah, we gotta teach our kid. We gotta do this shit right, man. You know if your kid need to be in college or not. You know how many niggas I grew up with that went to college and wasted their fucking time? Matter of fact, most.
Shout out to our loyal listeners.
Yo, most of you niggas wasted your time.
I went for 3 semesters and saw I was wasting my time, so I dropped out. And I had another conversation today with another coworker. She $80,000 in debt. She like, I ain't even paying that shit because they just gonna forgive me before I actually am able to pay that off.
Oh no, there's a man down.
Shit, wow. 80,000 off of college debt.
I just realized that was for fucking John Madden.
Yeah, that's from Madden, boy. That's Pat Summerall.
Good old Pat Summerall.
Thank you for your service.
Hilarious.
Hey, ain't no bullshit.
Hands
They
on
gonna be,
down.
hey, if you ask student loan, I only been making $20 a year since 2010. I ain't got it for him. I ain't got nothing for you, champ.
Hey, look. When I was fucking 21 years old, right? I flunked out of college for the last time. Luckily, I had only went to UDC and PG Community, so I was only like $9,000 in debt.
I went to University of Maryland. I had in-state, and my parents were so broke that the FAFSA gave me so many grants and shit. I wasn't that far in debt either. I
was $9,000 in debt. I said, you know what?
In no time, with my regular no degree having ass job.
Nigga, I signed up. I applied for the Air Force, and then I applied for the fire department. The fire department called me first. Before my report card touched down, I was already going to the fire department.
Hey, Slim. I went to PG. I went to Montgomery before I went to Texas Southern. And I did not have a great experience in Montgomery College. PG was cool. I got some credits at PG. I completely wasted my money at Montgomery. Completely. Hey, but when I got to Texas Southern, I was like, all right, let me tell you this seriously. I graduated with honors from there. But that shit, Montgomery was too close to my house. And I had a job too. I was like, man, fuck school. I'm going to work. I need money. Like, like job life got real.
But
sitting there with all them damn foreigners. You ever took a English class with 20 foreigners? That's not a good experience.
No, that's a long class.
Yo, shout out to Montgomery College. They came a long way though. Their campus is beautiful now.
Yo, shout out to the Nigerian niggas in the front of the class. So what you are saying is,
I can tell you went to PG. That was PG all the way. That was PG all the way, cuz.
So what you are saying? God damn, nigga, I'm trying to get out of here.
Hey, look, and then you gotta go fucking 40 minutes to get to school and back. I'm like, man, this is bull going on to Lago every day.
I will say this. I will say this. PG had the hose.
They did. I knew that was coming.
Yes.
And a lot of them.
But other than that, it was a waste of fucking time and money. So,
look, shout out to PG. They took my credits. Texas Southern took my credits from PG. They said, "What's Montgomery College?" They're like, "Nope, we don't want them."
God damn. God damn, yo. Well, I'll tell you what, man. It has been a hell of an episode. I can't believe we just all agreed this show. Like, that's crazy to me.
Straight up.
That's crazy to me.
You wasn't talking no bullshit this show.
Yeah, I didn't. I started drinking when the show started, so I wasn't already drunk when it started. So I guess
and I didn't have anything. This is probably the first show I ain't drink in like some months
before the show, and I took a nap waiting for this nigga and his technical difficulties.
See,
so we was all coherent this show.
See, we're self-aware on this show. We're self-aware. Self-awareness is bliss around this motherfucker.
Yeah, I can tell you what I do before the show every time and why it goes the way it does.
You know what? You know why? You know when you can do that?
After the show.
No, final thoughts.
Oh, no, don't worry. I wasn't going to. I already knew that when we got to final thoughts, because it's 12:18 in the morning and I'm still tired from that nap that I just took, and I feel like we agreed on everything and I made the points that I needed to make, I'm going to forfeit my final thoughts.
Nah, come on, you got to give me final thoughts.
Those are my final thoughts. I forfeit.
All right, well, listen. Okay, I'll tell you what.
All
just
right,
give us your final thoughts in formatted form.
All right, bet. Fuck the first topic. The second topic.
What was the first topic? What was the first topic?
The first topic was it the what's it called? Mount Vernon joint? I don't even think we ended up talking about it for real. But the CDC is on bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say please elaborate though, because the video went.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I'm gonna just leave it at that. The CDC is on bullshit. I want to say do your own research, but niggas like Corn will be like, everybody that's sick right now didn't get the vaccine, and then there's other data that say everybody that's sick right now is the niggas that got vaccinated. And so just recognize whether you on that side or you ain't on that side, because I still don't even care. Do your own thing. but recognize the chaos that they are putting you in. The fact that you don't even know. You don't even know. So I'm not going to sit here and fake like you know. I don't want nobody else to sit here and fake like they know. I ain't going to sit here and fake like I know. What I know is they got us in chaos. They got you scared of some shit that you don't even know what you're scared of. You're scared of breathing. You got fucking mask on when you step outside. Like, how much of this shit makes sense? I don't know. I don't feel like any of it does. But I am not going to inject myself with anything. I see they done made it mandatory for schools and all that other shit. Yeah, we gonna see what happens when I'm in the school. I ain't gonna tell you what the rest of y'all gonna do, but I'll be there, and y'all heard me. Simple as that. That's all I'm gonna say. Next topic was bill splitting and all of that. You make the bed that you lay in. You lay in the bed that you made. Something like that. You get the point.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
You want a good job? You wanted to make some money? All right, here we are. You got your good jobs. You got your money. Share spending that shit. What else did we talk about though?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. I don't care how old my kid is. If I made him and they struggling, I'ma help them. So can't say that I agree with them, but I also recognize if you cross people one too many times, they don't owe you anything, even the people that brought you here. So more power to her. Hopefully she get on her feet. Anything else?
I like that button.
Stressing me out with the buttons, man.
College.
I went to school for 3 semesters and I dropped out.
Look at you now.
And look at me now. I don't know if
Thank
it's
you.
a good thing or a bad thing.
Thank you for your service. God bless you.
Nah, but for real, made it very easy to pay off my student loan debt. And I also recognized where the trajectory of the world was going. Like, I recognized that there were a lot of people in positions with power that didn't necessarily have or need degrees. And I also recognized that when you put your mind to something and then you put the work behind it, you can do damn near anything, even if white people don't officially say that you're qualified to do it. And that's all the degree is. The current field that I am in, I spent 33 years living. So it wasn't no 4, 8, 12 years of degrees going to teach me anything that community, that neighborhood, these streets done taught me. So, yeah, here we are, like I said. Yeah.
Thank you for your service. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Straight up.
Conan, let's go.
Man, look here. Shout out to all of the people who listen on a regular basis. All of our loyal listeners, supporters, and watchers. We appreciate you.
Thank you for your service.
First topic, ladies. Accountability is a coming. It's a coming. Fellas, it's gonna be some good picking and choosing in the next few years. Have your shit together. It's gonna be a buffet.
Some of them going to sleep. Fuck God!
Thank you for your service.
College.
So hype off the buttons. I wish y'all could hear this nigga over here. Oh, you can't. I'm sure he was on the mic. He's so hype over here, bro.
College is not for everybody. If it's for you, make sure you pick the right vocation that will allow you to make a living and not just have a piece of paper to make your family happy and make you feel like you accomplished something. There are many other ways to get that feeling met without going into thousands of dollars of debt. So choose wisely.
He liked degrees so much, he took my degrees.
What was the last topic?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Oh.
And the CDC.
Yeah, man. Hey, she got to get how she live.
What does that mean, Cohen?
Thank you for your service. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
Y'all niggas funny as shit, man. That's your final thoughts?
That's my final thought.
All right, real quick. Yo. All right, let's run down this thing. I'm gonna start in random order. Okay. Dr. Dre's daughter. I think this is it's a cut and dry issue. I don't understand why or how anyone would sympathize with this woman. You were raised, or at least taken care of, by one of the richest people in American history. Most specifically, one of the richest black people in American history. I don't know what their relationship was like growing up, but the facts say that he took care of you. He provided you with everything you needed. And you chose the road of least accountability. So you get what you get. Dr. Dre took care of you for 35 years. Baby daddy after baby daddy after baby daddy after baby daddy. That's 4, right? 4 baby daddies. And you had the nerve to come out and blast that man publicly in the Me Too era when this man is your bread and butter. I mean, hey, he may have allegedly went upside a few chicks' heads, but he didn't go upside yours.
I mean, that's his daughter.
I'm just saying, he took care of you. So at the end of the day, like, that's your bread and butter. Understand your position.
After your final thoughts, let me freestyle to this beat.
Got you. Understand your understand your position and understand, like, yo, you were a privileged person growing up that most of us, you were privy to things that most of us didn't get. Up until the age of 35 when you decided to go rogue. So you get what you get, man. The man don't want to talk to you, he don't want to talk to you. Get your shit together. What's the next topic? The CDC. So we really didn't get much into the video that I wanted to play because of technical difficulties. I blame the Illuminati for cutting off the sound. Prove it, motherfucker. Prove it.
I said it.
Oh,
Hey,
wait,
look, I just seen
Stop the cap.
Look, the Biden administration ships hundreds of ventilators to Florida to help Governor DeSantis cope with his record-breaking COVID outbreak.
Hey, you
Breaking news.
Fuck him. Yo, DeSantis is the fucking G, man. Fuck it. Let that nigga rock. If the people of Florida rocking with him, let them niggas rock. They go listen.
Florida, and we know Florida is the most idiotic state in American history.
Florida, man.
Florida man.
They gonna play it how it go. Now, the college situation. Listen, man. I got a bridge in Brooklyn that I want to sell you. Don't spend your money on the degree in communications. Give it to me. I'll sell you a bridge. Listen, man. Trades need to come back. If you're not going to college to do some real shit, go get a trade, my nigga. Go get a trade. Electricians, master plumbers, carpenters. All of these motherfucking people make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of their career. And a lot of them step their game up and own their own companies with no degrees. It goes back to a Kanye song. What was the name of that song, Kirk? I know you know it. What did he say?
The little Jimmy skit joint that I just
He said, my dad didn't leave me money like every.
He left me degrees.
He left me his degrees.
He
So
liked
now,
degrees so much, he took my degrees.
I don't have to sleep on newspapers like the rest of the homeless people. I have my degrees.
Now I have my degrees to sleep on.
Yo, real talk, I am a degreeless Negro. I'm a degreeless Negro. But guess what? I live better than 90% of the rest of these Negroes with no fucking degree. I took my high school diploma. I went to the fire department. I saved my money. I started businesses. I bought properties. And I'm chilling. Let's get deeper into this. Nigga, I was on the motherfucking news for saying some wild shit
Super wild.
about our cohorts. And guess what?
In service.
The people's asked me to apologize and I gave them my ass to kiss. And I didn't lose an hour of pay.
He just did some death duty.
You niggas out here getting degrees, and if you're lucky enough to get a job in corporate America, you a bitch for corporate America. You walking around with your balls between your legs because they say so. They say so. Now, no disrespect to my profession or my job. I love my job and I love my profession, and the paycheck is great. But I don't have to compromise my fucking morals for them.
Like you gotta compromise your facial hair.
Oh no, that's not even the
I know
case. That's
y'all
not
even
even-
fix
it
that.
is.
Y'all-
no, it's been
They
fixed.
fixed
The
that. They
case
fixed
has
that.
been fought. The case has been fought. It's
fixed
been
it.
fixed, and the facial hair has been instilled back.
I can tell you got a fucking beard, nigga. You walk around looking like Tom
But guess
Selleck.
what? And shout out and shout out to them niggas, man, that sat for a year and a half and still counting on day work, who sued them jokers for that because the shit was wrong. But guess what? We prevailed. We prevailed. You see, once you let them people know that they don't frighten you and they can't do nothing to you, the jig is up. But like I said,
Don't let that go over your head.
most of these niggas are walking around with their nuts between their legs, trying to pretend like they got vaginas.
Oh no, there's a man down.
I'm just saying I wasn't raised like that. Real quick story. I know I'm rambling on and on, but my pops was a principal in DC public schools.
At the school I work at.
He worked at Stanton Elementary School. He was the principal there.
Hey.
And at this time, Michelle Reed
Uh-oh.
Was
Go calling out people again.
the superintendent. And basically, what she told him was that if he didn't fire majority of his staff because of the test scores, that he was going to be fired. You know what he did? He got fired. He didn't fire anyone. He got fired. Why? Because he didn't walk around with his nuts behind his legs. That's what's missing out here. He didn't walk around like that. So he took that L because he wasn't going to fire anybody for the mistakes that the system made against the children in that school system.
That's
He didn't.
behind your leg.
He took that L like a man because he wasn't gonna take somebody's job and career because of some shit they couldn't fix in the first place that the city refused to fix. That's the cloth that I'm cut from, and I don't like to sit up here and brag about myself and none of that shit. But real talk, that's the benefit of growing up with a man in the household. That's the benefit. That's the benefit. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm showing them the picture.
Oh, damn, yeah, you're right. That's the benefit. Which leads me to my next topic. Ladies, stop listening to the mainstream media. Matter of fact, let's break this down. Black women, I'm talking to you specifically. The only people who agree with and who hype you up in large, there are some anomalies, are white lesbian women who hate men. The rest of the women across the world know that they need a man and that the family is the backbone to a society, not a collective of bitter women. It's pointless. This is probably my 20th time saying this. Black girl magic is pointless. It's a false attempt at trying to solidify bad choices. You wouldn't need black girl magic if you had a family. You wouldn't need it. Because magic only exists in Disney World, on TV, and at the fucking movies. This is real fucking life. Men need women.
Real rap raw.
You can't use magic to make a legacy. You dig? So stop letting these people fool you, yo.
Jesus did.
And also, if you not, okay, all right, let me say this.
Uh-oh.
Don't opt to have a child without someone who wants to do it with you. Because doing it by yourself just because you want to keep a man, or just because you want to make his wife jealous, or just because, stop that shit. Or just because you want to put him on child support. Okay, you're getting paid now, but guess what? You're hurting your children. And guess what else you're doing? By the time you're 40 and 50, you're hurting yourself. And you know what's going to happen? The men in the green suits with all the shiny collar brass on it, they're going to come up to you with a folded flag. They're going to fold it for you like this. They're going to fold it for you. They're going to fold it for you. And then Barack Obama's going to come out, and all the men who fucked you or been trying to fuck you, they're all going to give you the salute while Barack Obama says this.
Thank you for your service. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been this episode of Straight Talk No Chase. For myself, Cosby Digitals, and Kirk Keys, we're out of this bitch till next week. Holla!
He forgot my freestyle. That shit wild. But I'm still
Let's go, Kirk. Let's go. Freestyle. Let's go.
It's like, I turn this shit off.
This shit crank though.
Can we go back? Back to where we can we go back?